Between November of 1997 and August of 1998, during this 9-month period, faculty from Harvard University, Stanford University, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and the University of Virginia meet in a collaborative effort called the Catastrophic Terrorism Study Group. Its members include experts on terrorism, national security, intelligence, and law enforcement. The project director is Phillip Zelikow, the future executive director of the 9/11 Commission. Future 9/11 Commissioner Jaime Gorelick is also a member, along with Ernest May, who would be senior advisor to the 9/11 Commission. The culmination of the group's efforts is a report written by Zelikow and its two co-chairs, former Assistant Secretary of Defense Ashton Carter and former CIA Director John Deutsch. A condensed version of the report is published in the Journal of Foreign Affairs in late 1998. They write, quote, long part of the Hollywood and Tom Clancy repertory of nightmarish scenarios, catastrophic terrorism has moved from the far-fetched horror to a contingency that could happen next month. Although the United States still takes conventional terrorism seriously, it is not yet prepared for the new threat of catastrophic terrorism, end quote. They predict the consequences of such an event as an act of catastrophic terrorism that killed tens of thousands of people and or disrupted the necessities of life for hundreds of thousands or even millions would be a watershed event in America's history. Could involve loss of life, property unprecedented for peacetime, and undermine Americans' fundamental sense of security within their own borders in a manner akin to the 1949 Soviet atomic bomb test, or perhaps even worse. Constitutional liberties would be challenged as the United States sought to protect itself from further attacks by pressing against allowable limits in surveillance of citizens, detention of subjects, and the use of deadly force. More violence would follow, either as other terrorists seek to initiate this great success, or as the United States strikes out at those considered responsible. Like Pearl Harbor, such an event would divide our past and future into a before and after. Immediately after the conference is finalized on October 15, 1998, in his opening remarks at a conference on contemporary political history organized by the Miller Center of Public Affairs at the University of Virginia, Phillip Zelikow emphasized that the public understanding of history is shaped by what are sometimes referred to as public myths. He would go on to say, quote, understanding contemporary political history is extremely important and constantly alive in public discourse. Contemporary is defined functionally by those critical people and events that go into forming the public's presumptions about its immediate past. This idea of public presumption is akin to William McNeill's notion of public myth, but without the negative implication sometimes involved by the word myth, end quote. Zelikow says that public assumption often grow out of searing events, particularly searing or molding events take on transcendent importance and therefore retain their power even as the experiencing generation passes from the scene. In a previous publication, Zelikow had written about how a catastrophic terrorism event could constitute a momentous history-shaping milestone. Quote, an act of catastrophic terrorism that killed millions would shape our future and therefore alter everything that is involved within that future.